everybody. This is Dishes,
And this is Nines.
and you're listening to Perdition Horror, the podcast show that opens the cabinet of oddities and curiosities for people who love murder, horror, and much more. Today, we're talking about social media true crime and the impact it has on us as a social media society. But first off, this is our very first podcast as Perdition Horror.
Oh, yeah.
So we kind of wanted to go in and introduce ourselves and kind of tell you about what we're going to be doing on the podcast, as well as different topics, our schedule. Nines, do you want to go off and introduce yourself?
I'm Nines. I am one of the hosts for the show this evening. I don't know. Where do we start?
A little bit about yourself.
I love horror. There's not much to say about it. I'm any type of spooky stuff, paranormal, anything of that nature. I'm all in it, all about it.
You know,
Like
it's
a
kind
kid,
of funny.
fascinated.
I grew up on watching those shows that they had, like the castles, and people would it would be like a group of people that they would be dropped off, and the doors would close and lock at night, and they had like the cameras on the front facing. And do you know which ones I'm talking about? Where they're all
the
night.
Ones where they're like running through the place scared.
Yes.
It's just like a Blair Witch Project all over again.
That would scare the crap out of me every time I would watch it younger. So my name is Dishes. I am a mother of 3. I love anything true crime related. I'm a true crime fanatic, as well as I kind of grew up on the paranormal stuff as well. Horror spooked me when I was younger, but I'm more of a horror fanatic as I've gotten older. So I really, really enjoy everything like that. So,
all right, so what do we got for scheduling? We're going to be usually posting all over the place. Mainly our live shows are going to be Twitch, Kick. We will be uploading to YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. Since this is our first one, we will be posting today, Friday, and we will over time be getting better with the scheduling, but give us a little break for now.
Yeah, in the future we're looking at doing it every Friday and Tuesday around 7 p.m. when it comes to Kick and Twitch. But we will also be posting our podcast for listening audio viewers on Spotify. So what kind of topics are we going to be discussing throughout the podcast? That may be a question that everyone has.
We're trying to cover all the bases. We're going to be going through everything from horror, true crime, paranormal, ghost stuff, creatures. I know there's a lot of sci-fi fanatic people out there that love alien stories, so we'll be dipping in a little bit to that as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to check us out on our other social media platforms, go ahead and visit our link tree. It'll be linked in the bio, as well as if you have any other questions or ideas for future topics, visit our Discord that's also linked below. So today we are going to be talking about 2 different true crime events that have taken place due to social media. Now, there have been several different studies that have found a link between social media usage and increased risk for depression, anxiety, self-harm, and loneliness. And which kind of stinks, because if you really think about it, social media has become a big part of modern day society. It has
that's the norm.
Yeah, it has allowed us to communicate with others, share information, and also connect with people that we may have not had the chance to have that relationship or friendship with. So it's crazy to think that something so good in our lives nowadays has not been as beneficial for us as well. So the negative effects of social media can be cyberbullying, spreading the misinformation, self-esteem issues, and also social isolation. It's just to name a few. It's crazy that you think about it. 10 years ago, we really didn't have that much, internet. We did dial-up, right? Was it that 10 years ago, or has it been more now?
It's probably definitely been more now. I remember the first time we got internet, and it was a hassle. I really, it was like when I was growing up, we had AOL and stuff like that, but I didn't really. I think I was before AOL when we first had it, and I'm telling you, the whole you couldn't use the phone while someone was on the internet. Hey, your parents yelling at you, get off the internet, I gotta make a call type thing. It really happened. It sucked. It was horrible. You think you have slow internet now? Like,
people complaining about their internet speeds now.
Oh yeah. It is nothing compared to what it used to be. Just be thankful you have, slow internet.
Do you remember when we used to be able to get the CDs that would be like 2 weeks free of AOL?
Yes. All the magazines, you get magazines in the mail, you'd get magazines at the store and stuff, and they'd have that AOL disc in there. Yeah, I do remember that.
It was nuts. That's what we had to put into our computer in order to get the internet.
See, now my thing, I was always afraid to do it because I was like, what if this is a virus? Like, this is going to destroy the computer. I stayed away from those.
Yeah, I actually had a computer in my room when I was younger. So
Same.
I don't remember what age it was or when it was. I think it was like ending of middle school into high school. I had a computer in my room. But it's crazy how far advanced we are nowadays.
Oh, I live off of the computer now.
I think everyone does.
Is how it is. Yeah.
So the first case we're going to be talking about today is the murder of the e-girl. It is Bianca Devins. Now, this is a very sad story, and we'll get into it more, but the trigger warning, everyone. I don't know how else to say this, because this story can trigger some people. And
It does go into some very dark, mindful, upsetting topics.
Yes. So if you're triggered with anything like related to death, go ahead, and this may not be the episode for you. But she was actually born October 2nd in 2001. She was beautiful. She was 17 years old. She was a talented artist. She was a sister, a daughter, a cousin, and she was said to be so wonderful that her parents, her friends, everyone just got that warm, fuzzy feeling when it comes to her. She was always wanting to do right by people. So she just graduated from high school and was looking forward to attending a local community college that started in the fall. So like many teenagers, she was active online, and she was an e-girl who had an Instagram, and she actually had a huge following. She had over 153,000 followers, and it's still on, those are still on her social media today. So it's not like she lost any followers, and she may have gained some from this story. She lived in Utah. I'm sorry, I'm so bad.
Utica?
Is it
Utica?
Utica? Utica.
Hey, Utica.
Utica.
I think it is Utica.
Utica, New York. So this is us all the time. He always makes fun of the way that I pronounce things, because I mispronounce everything. But anyways, she also frequently posted on a discussion forum called 4chan. So I actually went ahead and put that little logo there for you guys. I don't know. Have you ever seen that?
It's with the 4 hearts or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen it online actually, or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've never saw it beforehand. So this, I don't know if it was like on Reddit or where it was, this forum, but I have no idea. So Brandon Clark, who was age of 21 at the time, met Bianca on Instagram in April of 2019. He started following her on Instagram, and that's how they gained a friendship. But I think during this time frame, Brandon had other things in mind, but obviously Bianca didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Bianca considered Brandon just a close friend, and that's what she explained to her mother, and explained to her that she was not interested in dating him or anything like that. And you know, after the relationship was going further in, the family and friends said that he was a trusted family friend at that point. So one of Bianca's friends was afraid that he may have been trying to be sexually exploitive.
It sounds fancier.
I know, but it's so funny how words are, like, when it comes to stuff like that, because this could be sounded out in so many different ways. But anyways, they thought that he was trying to get sexual with her when they were
on that stuff.
On that stuff, yeah, there we go.
On that stuff.
On that stuff. That good? No, it was probably not good.
That loud stuff.
And he would actually supply her with that good just to spend time with her. So the relationship got away from being just an online internet relationship. It actually, he forced it into being something that
something more.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So on July 14th, 2019, Bianca, a friend named Alex, and Brandon went to a Nicole Dulcinganger concert. I've never heard of this girl in my life.
Dollenganger?
Have you?
Yeah, I've never heard of her. No, never heard of her.
I don't even know what type of music that she would sing or perform. But they went to upstate New York. And Alex was said to be holding hands with Bianca and kissing her. And this made Brandon really jealous and angry. And it was said that they actually both got into an argument. And it was probably because of the kiss that her and Alex shared.
Oh, yeah.
This made him take Bianca into a black SUV, and he ended up cutting her throat with a knife that he had hidden under the seat. And if you think that was the worst part, it's not. He uploaded photos to Instagram with a text, "I'm sorry, Bianca, and may you never forget me." And if you can see right there, it's crazy. So it didn't stop there either. But we'll get into that a little bit more. But he left Bianca in the car, and he built a bonfire, and he started listening to music. And then he started making posts on Discord of photographs with the captions, "Sorry, effers. You're going to have to find somebody else to orbit." So he wasn't making sense.
Yeah.
And I also
have to find.
I had to reread that to myself because it did not sound right. But he also posted, and I put a picture for everyone to view. He's like, "My fucking car. I fuck Bianca, dumbass. Anyways, remember to subscribe to PewDiePie. Also, to the fuck Alex with the Chinese username. Hope it was worth it. She was gonna go home today." Wow. So he was very explicit. He was saying some not so nice things. So he was going crazy in his head. Like,
I'm sure.
What do you think his mind frame was at that time? Like, do you think he planned it?
I think he was in. Well, judging for the fact that he had a knife in under his seat the whole time, I mean, I don't. Maybe that's not what his intentions were.
Mm-hmm.
But jealousy's a bitch.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, people have done worse for less.
It's crazy.
You know, it's crazy to think the mindset of people these days are.
Yeah.
You can't go out. Like, when we were growing up, you could leave your car unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
You could leave your front door unlocked. Now you can't do that.
Society nowadays.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that we are able to access everything on the internet as well.
Oh, everything is at the click of a button.
So after he decided to, to do that and post on Discord, he decided to call multiple family members, and his call actually resembled more of a suicide note than, anything else. So I think that he was going to try and off himself.
Yeah.
He was telling his family to go ahead and call 911. But by 7 a.m., Discord users actually were the ones to notify the police, who actually received multiple calls. So the people in that Discord were the ones that actually got him caught, because his family members weren't going to be doing it. But he actually called himself at one point. I think this was actually after all those calls that they put in, but they have a recording where he was saying that, "My name is Brandon. The victim is Bianca Michelle Devins. I'm not going to stay on the phone for long because I still need to do the suicide part of the murder-suicide." So, like, if he wasn't trying to do a murder-suicide before, like, it got to a point where he felt like that was appropriate.
Oh, he probably... Like, you know how they say, like, people go through stages?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when something traumatic happens,
like
first
grief.
they go through denial, then they go through acceptance, then grief, and stuff like that. That's probably what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because at first, like I said, he probably wasn't planning any of this to go down the way it did. And in the beginning, with the posts that he was posting on social medias, on the Discord and stuff like that, and then it went from that to calling my family members, trying to not exploit myself and telling them what I did, but kind of hinting and noting on it, to calling dispatch and saying, "Hey, my name is Brandon. This is the victim. I'm not staying on the phone long, blah, blah, blah," stuff like that. So he's probably finally going through those stages to get to the murder-suicide.
Oh, yeah. And
he probably felt like he had no way out. Like, this is it. I have no other choice.
Oh, yeah. And, my mind frame is not in that state of mind ever, and has never been. So, like, you never know, like, exactly how he felt, if he did something and then regretted it right away and didn't realize that but then again, he wouldn't be posting and posting photos, and also just posting in general on social media when it came to it, if he had some sort of remorse right afterwards. But wouldn't you think?
That's the thing. Like, you can't really know what someone's going through unless you've been put in that situation. Like, I don't know how I would act in that situation. I wouldn't be in that situation because it's just not something I could, fathom to do. But you never really know what someone's mindset is or what they're going through mentally until you're put in their shoes, so I don't know. I don't know if he showed any remorse. I don't know if in his head he was just like, I'm in deep doo-doo. I don't know what to do, It
kind of makes you feel like it, like you were talking about the stages. It kind of probably was a lot to do with that as well. When it came to the decision making, like, he would act upon his emotions at that time.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was said to be annoyed with the fact that she didn't want to be in a relationship with him, which is not shocking.
No, thank you, sir.
So he ended up taking her life, and that is when Bianca's family started receiving photos with the words, "She deserved it." And I think this is Bianca. So I don't know what he meant by that, by sending those photos, but
Like, he sent it to her family?
yes, he started sending photos to her family as well during this time frame. But it didn't last long because, right after he got off the phone, as well as those Discord users that got off the phone with the police arrived. And when they did arrive, Brandon stabbed himself in the neck, and he wrote a suicide note and message that was stated, "May you never forget me." Police confirmed that the victim was Devon's, and they started charging him with second-degree murder. Now, police think that it was a planned murder because he had the knife, just like you said earlier, and the equipment
definitely premeditated.
He had the equipment to videotape the killing as well, which is so creepy.
Dude's a creep. Yeah, straight up premeditated. It was carefully thought out.
Or, like, the way that I thought about it was like, if you're going to a concert, aren't you going to want to videotape the concert as well?
Oh, yeah, and have the duct tape and the rope and all that stuff at the concert.
But, no, I guess I was playing more devil's advocate on that aspect. Because, like,
I see. But, like, nowadays, like, with social
everything's
media,
on your phone.
everybody has a cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, like a camcorder or something like that, nobody's going to do that for a concert. Everybody records with their phone. How many times have you gone to a concert and everybody's just standing there looking through their phone the whole time?
Oh, yeah. Or having their phone out recording.
Absolutely. Which is nothing wrong with it, capture, live in the moment type thing. But, just for the fact that if he had other means of recording things, it had to have been premeditated.
Oh, yeah. So the police sergeant, Michael Curley, he actually believed that he desired fame by doing this. Like, do you feel that way? Because I don't.
I honestly don't.
I don't think he did it for
fame. What fame are you
fame.
going to get?
Yeah.
Other than the fact that for bragging rights, saying I'm the one who took her out or I'm the one who was with her. I mean, but the thing is, like,
who are you gonna brag to? Your jail cellmate?
Hey, Bunky, there was this girl back in Utica.
Utica.
York, oh, she was something, dog. Oh, she was something. She did though.
But
I honestly don't think it was for fame.
I don't think so either. Do I think he may have planned it? Possibly. Obviously, we are not him, so we don't know what his mindset was, before that time frame.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he felt like something was going to go sideways that night and grabbed it if he did plan for it to happen.
See, now that's what I'm thinking.
Because the other guy was there.
He was trying to plan for all angles.
Mm-hmm. So he actually gave various explanations to multiple officers during like the interviewing process. So they're not exactly sure what his motive was or how what his mind frame was. One thing that they do know is that he made multiple searches on the web on how to find the carotid artery and how to off someone, and just general searches for choking as well. So again, like, maybe he planned on doing it. Or maybe this was like if this happens, this is what I'm going to be doing. Because he did say in Discord to Alex, well, I hope it was worth it. She was going to go home today. So maybe he was just planning on, doing it just in case. So just about 2 years after her death, Brandon Clark was convicted and pled guilty. He was sentenced to 25 years to life in New York State prison. And he was looking a little rough after 2 years.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
His, so he's losing hair. And probably from stress. Stress will do that to you. But then again, don't go off and, kill the woman that you claim to love.
Yeah, don't go to a Taylor Swift concert and start stabbing people.
Did nobody find it weird that a 21-year-old wanted to hang out with a 17-year-old?
Right? Like, her family's just like, yeah, that's fine, that's cool. Whatever, no big deal.
Nobody found that weird? Because I do. I would not allow my children at any age, over the age 18, hanging out with underage women or men.
Nah, I'd nip it in the butt right there.
So Bianca's actually buried in Utica, called
Forest Hill, right?
Forest Hill. Yeah, I forgot it for a second. And she is currently survived by both of her parents, her sister, and her 4 grandparents, which is so sad because she was so young and had all this life, to live. And you said that you didn't really like her gravestone.
Oh, I did not. They could have done, I understand she was 17 years old, keep the childhood alive and stuff like that. They could have done a better job.
No, I completely agree with you on that.
I think the pink was a little too much for me, but you got to put yourself in their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that the pink was her favorite color, and her mom wanted to do something nice, and for the edging, fill it in with the color, and to each their own. Just please don't put it on mine.
I have a notebook right now and I'm writing pink outline on black headstone. Check.
Dear mortuary, please put pink. A bright pink. Scratch that out. Hot pink.
We're joking right now, but this is a really serious offense, and I do feel bad for her parents and her family and friends because, granted, I never at that age had a friend pass, but even when we were in high school, there were several kids that passed. I don't know if you remember that. And
I do.
I remember the traumatic experience that these children had.
And more or less on the siblings, like her sister. She's known her sister her whole life, grew up with her, spent every single day around her, and to even the parents, parents have raised her for 17 years, and just in a matter of a night, the child's gone. Nobody would want to bury their child, just as much as a sister would not want to bury her own.
Mm-hmm.
It's heartbreaking to think of, and to put yourself in that situation, or put yourself in that, mindset of they're gone, they're never coming back, and this is the person to blame for it.
Yeah. So the next one that we're going to be talking about under the true crime social media is the murder for TikTok likes. So I'm obsessed with TikTok. Do you like TikTok too?
I honestly lie. It's fun once in a while, but I can't spend all day on it like some people do.
Don't be lying. I
really
constantly get TikToks from you.
Yeah, that's the truth. I'll lay in bed and watch TikTok for 2 hours and just be like, I'm just trying to wind down. Just trying to go back before bed.
Yeah.
Here it is 1 o'clock in the morning and I got to get up 2 hours.
Everyone before, when TikTok first changed from, I think it was Musical.ly, everyone was like, TikTok, ew. Now everyone's on
Oh,
TikTok.
everybody hated TikTok when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the whole conspiracy. Oh, the Russians. Oh, the China.
Mm.
Oh, they're gonna steal your information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But so we're gonna actually talk about a murder that happened, not necessarily for TikTok, but that's what a lot of people think. So Zachary Latham moved into his grandparents' house in Vineland, New Jersey around 2020. He looks like a baby.
Little one.
He does. He was emancipated at the age of 17, so after he got emancipated, he decided that he wanted to get married and join the National Guard. So,
Oh, jeez.
right when he moved in, right after he got emancipated and, got married and stuff like that, he decided, he moved in. This is where the conflict begins. So,
Oh, yeah.
he started uploading on TikTok, and when he started to do so, he had, I don't know if it's currently this amount of followers or if his TikTok was, taken down or something along those lines, but he had 39,000 followers on his TikTok.
At this time?
No, I don't know. I don't know if they took, I think they may have taken his TikTok down, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sure they've taken it down. But I remember this story when it happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember it being all over the news.
That's crazy, because I didn't know about it until, I looked into it. But he owned a few expensive cars, so at that young age, he was probably working. And then once he got emancipated and went into the National Guard, he probably spent all of his money. Because don't they give you some sort of bonus for joining after you get out of boot camp and stuff like that?
Depending on the branch, I do believe some may offer a sign-on bonus that you will get once you complete basic. Yeah.
So that's probably how he got his cars. So.
Oh, absolutely. My brother did the same thing. He enlisted as soon as he made through basic. He went out and bought I think he bought a Camaro.
Oh goodness.
Oh, it was totaled within like 2-3 months. So.
Oh my goodness.
Living the life, hardcore.
Yeah. So he actually started posting about them regularly. So he was one of those kids. One of those kids that wanted to show off his expensive goodies. But he ended up starting to get into arguments with his neighbors. So I'm sure you've heard this or seen it firsthand. Everyone hates the loud ass car that goes through the neighborhood. Especially when it's late at night.
That is true. Or early in the morning.
Oh yeah. Are you one of them?
I am not one of them, but I do have a neighbor that has, I won't give out any names or any locations, but I do have a neighbor. Every morning when I'm trying to pour coffee, they start their car and it fucking rattles the windows.
And how annoying is that? It's very annoying.
It's very annoying.
Well, I got it. I guess
But I can't really say much because, I mean, look what I drive. Granted, it's not that loud, but it's loud enough.
Well, this ended up starting arguments between the Durham family, and he would post these arguments on TikTok. So if he's driving down the road, for example, and one of the kids come outside, I say kids, but they're grown adults, but but the Durham kids come outside and start yelling at him, he would literally stop his vehicle or slow it down and start recording the interaction that he would have with this family. And
which is the norm nowadays.
It is. So one of the first videos of him recording this family is of William's wife. So it's Catherine Durham. And he's calling her Karen over and over and mocking the situation that was occurring. So I actually found a video that had like a bunch of his TikToks like kind of looped into the video, and I wanted to play it. Yeah, I wanted to play it for you guys.
What are you gonna do, Karen? You okay, Karen? Go ahead, get my tag. Get my tag, Karen. Get my tag, it's okay. All because my car is loud. 3 cop cars. Knife, dude, you better play. I'm calling the cops on you, that's good.
So pretty much it just shows him mocking her at first, and when she was getting his license plate, she was gonna probably, I don't know exactly what happened with that first encounter. I'm pretty sure the cops were called each time this happened.
Oh, I guarantee it. But you can see how it progresses.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And do you get fuckboy vibes from him? Like,
I think he's one of those kids who think they're just a badass.
Mm-hmm.
They know everything, you know, typical teenager, you know, and thinking they're cool and shit like that, and posting stuff on social media, thinking, you know, people think this is funny. I'm gonna continue doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it never ends well.
Oh no. Nope. So when he posted these interactions to TikTok, the internet ate it up. Especially TikTok, because TikTok was at its prime in 2020 because of, you know, COVID and all of that. So everyone was using TikTok as their outlet. So when they started seeing these these videos, they started, you know, liking, and it made him go up in views, to say the least.
Oh yeah, big ego inflation.
So there was over 3 million views with comments on one of his videos, and there was comments on there such as "go slash her tires" or "go after her." So the internet was hyping him up about the situation as well. So according to the Durham lawyer, Jackery drove up to the Durham family's home a few days later while they were gardening, and he started yelling out the window, "Hey Karen, we went viral." So on May 4th, 2020, this is really where things started to go south.
Yeah.
He had an altercation, and Zachary allegedly swerved his truck at Catherine and William's teenage son while he was riding a bike down the road.
What?
Yeah. Now, according to Zachary, he was just simply honking his horn at the boy and did not swerve near him whatsoever. But I know that my opinion doesn't really matter when it comes to things like this, but I do think he knows exactly what he was doing. I think he was trying to get more content, so to speak, because that's what was, you know, spicing up his TikTok, these interactions. So I think it's over the top when it comes to children. So this is a teenage boy that he's doing this to. It's not a grown adult, and he is. I don't know. I don't have words for it.
Trying to add fuel to the fire.
Oh yeah.
You know, just trying to strike a match with it, trying to keep it building.
Oh yeah. So later that day, is said when William blocked Zachary with his truck, and Catherine started to confront Zachary about the occurrence. Now, Catherine was recording the confrontation on her phone at the same time. The New York Times state that Zachary is seen in footage trying to elbow Catherine, and her phone was knocked from her hands, and Zachary sped off towards his home. So this is where it really started, you know, the end time for this.
Oh yeah. Oh, at that point, you put your hands on someone, it's a done deal.
Then things started escalating even further when William and Catherine's son showed up to Zachary's home. Now, Sarah, Zachary's wife, started recording as soon as they stopped on his property. She informed them that if they needed to leave her property, or you're not going to like what comes out. So it kind of, they probably had a conversation, him and his wife, about like, oh, well, if something happens, we're going to do such and such to this family. Now, I don't know exactly what was said or anything like that, but I'm sure that they had conversations about the interactions between, you know, the other family and him.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure she was there for some of them, because I'm pretty sure I saw her in one of the TikTok videos. So, public defender for Zachary actually stated that himself and Sarah could be heard clear as day on the recording asking the Durhams to leave the property. And that's when Zachary armed himself with a 4-inch knife and stun gun. So he first fired the stun gun and swung his knife at one of the Durham sons. And in prosecution notes, it states that the Durham family did not have anything in their hands. So they went up to his house with no weapons or anything. They just had their bare hands. This is, at this point, this is where Williams attempted to grab Zachary, and I guess Zachary slashed him in the arm. And he headed back into his garage with his friends. He had a group of friends there as well. So this caused for a scene in front of his friends.
Oh, yeah.
At that age, okay, so let's just say he's 17, 18 years old. He has a group of friends in his garage right now. And this family comes up and they're trying to start stuff with him. You're going to want to try to buff yourself up.
Yeah. Trying to look all intimidating.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's what he was trying to do as well. But Zachary's friends were in the back of the truck at the time this was all going on in the garage. And William decided to follow Zachary into the garage when he walked in. So he actually stepped into his home, I think, at this point. Isn't that considered... Yeah. Like, there's the property line, and then there's the inside the home. Isn't the garage considered inside the home?
Yeah, the garage is an extension of the property, like inside the home.
So, what happened next is described as a violent melee-style type of fight. The stun gun was said to be fired off repeatedly. And Sarah told Zachary to put down the knife, but he struck William under his armpit and he punctured his lung. According to the filings that they submitted to the court, this wound is what actually made it to where William Durham wasn't able to live any longer. So at 7:48 p.m., police arrived to the scene, and by 9:19 p.m., William Durham Sr. was pronounced dead. Now, Zachary was also taken to the medical center to be treated for his injuries that he sustained during the fight, and it said that he had a concussion and several abrasions. So he got hurt during the fight as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was an altercation between the both of them.
Oh yeah. But at this point, like, who would you find at wrong?
It's hard to say, you know, without. I mean, Zachary showed up without a weapon, first of all, but they also had the recording with Zachary and his wife asking them to leave the property, threatening them that they wouldn't like it, but that's beside the point. And then for the fact that after being cut, Zachary still, you know, pursued him into the garage, into the house. So there was definitely wrongdoing on both parts.
Oh yeah. So at this point, after Zachary was released from the hospital, he was sent to jail. They arrested him. He was released from jail that same month on a $40,000 bond and was allowed to relocate to Florida while he was waiting his trial in New Jersey, which I find nuts.
Yeah, I've never heard of them allowing you to leave the state pending trial.
No, I've never heard it either. Now, Zachary's public defender noted that it was a great tragedy and stated that he acted in self-defense. And he stated exactly, and I quote, "To a very, very fair extent, the Durhams visited this great sadness upon themselves." So he's pretty much saying, well, if they didn't come up to his property and didn't step foot into his home, because the garage is their home, this wouldn't have happened. Which is true.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I can't say you did this to yourself. You're the reasoning behind it, but ultimately your actions, your actions outweigh your outcome.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So, I mean, if you're having an altercation with someone, they're asking you to leave, they've already cut you or stabbed you with the knife once. I don't think I would be following them into their garage, and especially if his friends or other people are in there, you don't know what their intentions are.
Oh yeah.
You're just asking for bad news.
So it's funny, and you may not see this coming, or you may have heard it, which is surprising to me that this has occurred. Catherine and her sons, after her husband, passed away from this incident, was charged by the county prosecutors for simple assault and criminal trespassing.
Oh yeah.
So there was a teenager son and then there was an adult son, and they were all three charged with the same thing. Now, the Superior Court Judge Kristen D. Arghetto, I think is her name, states that this is a unique sort of case because the victims in one case are the defendants in another case, where the victim in the case is now the defendants in this case. So I guess there were two different cases involved with this family at this point, and Zachary.
Well, you got to think Zachary. So like Catherine, his mother, he is the defendant in the case with the mild abrasions, the concussions, the aggravated assault, criminal trespassing. So Zachary is the defendant in that, versus the charges on Liam are, he killed someone, so, he's being charged with murder. So he is the defendant on that case.
So the Durham family lawyer actually sent a letter to the county prosecutors stating that Sarah, Zachary's wife, recorded the encounter in order to post it onto TikTok to become famous. And for that reason, they believe that it was premeditated. They go as far as saying that Zachary actually lured them into the garage. So William and his son.
See, I get the names confused.
Yeah.
William's the one who
he's the father.
Died.
Yep. And then Zachary is the kid that was recording, and Sarah's his wife.
Yeah.
There's so many names in this specific one. So they also stated that if Sarah and Zachary were fearful for their safety, that they would have gone back inside their house and contacted police instead of, escalating.
Which would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah, but also it goes right back to, there was a group of boys in their garage.
Oh, for sure.
Friends. So they're going to show out in front of their friends. So
sure.
It could have not been premeditated, and they just wanted to show out in front of their friends.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't look good on TikTok.
Yeah. So something that fueled this theory was that Zachary decided it would be a great idea to start commenting about the case in some of his TikTok videos and on Instagram. So allegedly, a commenter on TikTok posted the Durham family's address as well.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even I don't even know how to feel about that, because I don't know if he feels proud that this happened and he wanted to update his TikTok followers on it, or if he just wanted to update his TikTok followers in the aspect of, hey, these type of videos aren't going to be happening anymore.
Yeah.
I
think a little bit of both.
Probably. But I know that his TikTok followers were really, really into it because of the fact that they were, some of the comments that they were posting, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You go to a video on TikTok and the comments are absolutely outrageous sometimes on a video.
That's with all social media.
Yeah.
That's with all platforms. Facebook, TikTok, like YouTube comments, stuff like that. It's all over the place.
Mm-hmm. So in August of 2020, prosecutors were pushing to file a motion to stop everyone that was involved from making statements on public forums and social media. And they said that Zachary was still creating TikTok videos under the new account. So he must have deleted his old account, or it was shut down because of what happened, and then he created a new one and was still talking about the case.
Yeah, I think as of right now, both the accounts are no longer up.
Mm-hmm.
As far as any that I could find. Now you're going to see, other accounts, other
people like
posting
fan
little clips
accounts.
and, fan accounts and stuff like that. You're going to see shit like that. Plus, you're going to see other accounts posting little clips of, the trial and stuff like that, trying to get views. So it's all the same.
Oh yeah.
Regardless if he has an account or not, you're going to see it on there.
So they were actually trying to attempt to revoke his release, but this was before he was arrested again, January 23rd of 2001 in Fort Myers, Florida. According to a motorist, he was confronted by Southwest Florida International Airport, and Zachary tried to ram his vehicle into the other guy's vehicle, and he revealed a firearm. So
I think that might be the part that I saw, and then they were
going into detail about everything
into detail about the other case that he's previously on bond for and stuff like that.
So he was charged with 2 accounts of aggravated assault, and the first one was aggravated assault with attempt to commit a felony, and the second one was aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without the intent to kill. So the state troopers ended up tracking down his vehicle, and they ended up revealing that he was carrying an airsoft BB gun that resembled an AK-47. So it wasn't even a real weapon, and that's why they gave him a deadly weapon without the intent to kill.
Yeah.
So March 1st, 2021, it was announced that Zachary Latham was indicted on charges of aggravated assault, possession of a weapon for the unlawful purpose, unlawful possession of a weapon, and reckless manslaughter in the New Jersey case. But it doesn't matter, because Zachary was released prior to the trial, and he actually, in April of 2023, was found not guilty on all accounts.
That's crazy. But just an update for the Fort Myers.
Mm-hmm.
We know he was charged with the 2 counts of aggravated assault in that case. He entered a plea of no contest to the 3rd-degree charges and was sentenced last month, at least a month to a year, 8 months, in jail. But they gave him 811 days credit for the time he'd already spent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
he
my
was
goodness.
Released from custody August 24th of this year.
Wow.
So he just got out for the Fort Myers case.
Well, that's crazy. Well, that is it for today's podcast. This was fun.
Yeah.
We appreciate every one of you, and we appreciate you guys sticking through the first podcast with us. It's all trial and error, and all trial and error. we're gonna really we're gonna have some amazing shows coming up here soon. Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye.